After every question, let's do a little, you know.
Okay, so
It's a drinking game.
so this interview is going to be a drinking game. We haven't figured out the rules yet, but we're going to drink and figure it out.
That's one of my you know.
By the way, I'm here with Karl Christian Krumpholz, illustrator, cartoonist, general just rad dude, drinker, Breckenridge Brewery. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing freaking awesome, man.
All right.
Yeah. So, for people who don't know your work, what's the scoop on you? What do you do?
Well, I started off years ago doing mini comics on the East Coast. I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Then I moved to Boston, then I moved to Denver. So I've been around. Started doing mini comics. I was doing a comic called Angst Boy Comics. I was doing a comic called Sturm und Drang. I was doing a comic called Schadenfreude. And then out of those, my first published comic came out called Byron, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous. It was published by Slave Labor Graphics, or SLG Publishing, a couple of years ago. Since then, I've been doing the sequel to that first book, but also doing other comics such as Show Devils. I also did an issue of Vincent Price Presents for Blue Water.
That's awesome.
And a lot of illustration work for Modern Drunkard magazine, local band called Barstool Messiah. I've done 2 album covers for them. The local tiki bar Adrift. I've done a bunch of artwork for them. So yeah, that's all of it in a nutshell.
Drink.
Drink.
Cheers. Prost. So you brought some examples here. What do you got?
I brought really small example. This is Show Devils, put out by Mother's Mind Studio, written by Dan Crozier, about the Enigma and Serena Rose, actual freak show performers. I did all the interiors for this book in a vivid green and yellow. And it's basically real-life freak show performers mixed with Scooby-Doo-like capers and the movie Saw.
Wow.
Wackiness ensues.
And Dan was actually in here last week doing.
Dan's a great guy.
Yeah, he was really fun. Now, is there more issues of this coming out?
There is more issues, but this is the issue that I illustrated. They're going with every story is going to have a different illustrator.
Oh, nice.
So
nice. And tell me about the Modern Drunkard magazine.
Modern Drunkard magazine. What every home needs. I'm considered the artist for Modern Drunkard. I just basically do artwork for this magazine. Let me find a piece in here. There's one of mine. I illustrated the Andre the Giant versus Alexander the Great article.
And who won that battle?
I'm not going to say.
Wow.
It was a Titans challenge. Both men brought it on. Also did, if I can find it in here, a portrait of one of my favorite writers, David Wondrich, booze writer extraordinaire.
Cheers.
Drink.
Drink. Well, cool. What else are you working on?
I'm doing that.
Okay.
So I usually have pieces in every issue that comes out. I'm also working on, as I said, the new Byron series. That is, we're about, 5 issues in. Those issues are right now available digitally on iTunes, Comixology, the SLG website itself. We're going to do, once we finish that, and it's in full color, once we finish that, we will do a collection.
Okay.
And I'm also prepping my next comic, which will be a World War I story.
Nice.
That, 'cause since we're approaching the 100th anniversary of World War I, and I'm kind of confused in why there hasn't been a lot more the American experience during World War I. So I'm doing a World War I story from the American point of view, and I will admit they entered the war very, very late, but it's a fictionalized account based on a true historic story.
Wow.
So I'm working on that. Pages of that right now are, I'm doing gallery shows around the city, are up at Tui's off Colfax through the end of April.
Nice.
And then it'll be at Mutiny Information Cafe over on South Broadway for another month, probably through Denver Comic Con.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. No, what kind of booth are you going to have at Comic Con?
I'm going to be there. I'm going to do the artist. I have an artist alley table there, so I'll be there. I also just did artwork for the Literary Con that precedes Denver Comic Con. That's part
Roma Coco?
Roma Coco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did artwork for them.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the. I guess the program. It's going to be on the program, and they're going to make T-shirts and prints and everything like that.
So did you do the crazy rah thing?
No, I did. It was a slightly difficult illustration to do because they wanted to talk about violence after the Aurora shooting, along with comics. So it was slightly difficult. Okay, how do I illustrate this at the same time being utterly respectful for what happened? And I think I knocked it out of the park, just to be humble.
That's awesome.
No, I sent you one of the JPEGs I sent you was the cover. It's
Okay.
It's a silhouette of a gun made up of comic book panels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we will do a nice little overlay in this section.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be awesome.
Look, art, drink.
Drink. Cheers.
Should say. Wait, what exactly are we drinking?
That would be a 471. It is this little beauty right here.
Nice bottle.
It is a small batch IPA. It's the one that's they put in the Stranahan whiskey barrels
Awesome.
and just store it in there and makes it all cool and very, very yummy.
All
and
right, very yummy.
It's got a little kick to it.
It's got the little bite of an IPA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, I really like Stranahan's whiskey.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's probably my favorite whiskey. Though I like the Bullet stuff. It's a little cheaper. The Bullet Rye is really nice.
Good stuff. Good.
Yeah.
What else do you like to drink?
God. I love old fashions.
Really?
I love old fashions. Yeah. It's a simple drink. Basically, a bunch of sugar, fruit, and booze, whiskey, or rye. Yeah.
Sort of fits the noir look, I think.
Yeah, I know. Too many people dress in T-shirts, and I'm not slamming you at all, but
Slam me all you want. I got a purple beard.
that's awesome though. Like when you go to a comic book convention, and that's one of the reasons I try to dress this way. You go to a comic book convention, everyone's in their Green Lantern T-shirts and Superman T-shirts and Spider-Man T-shirts. No, you got to kind of stand out from the crowd and just like elevate. Let's elevate the discourse of the comic book industry, so that the mainstream doesn't see them as a bunch of T-shirt wearing mouth breathers.
Sure. I mean, there's a level of class you're bringing to the table that
I try, yes.
I would completely fail at.
I drink. I usually also behind my bar. Behind my table, I usually my bar. The little travel bars with me to get through, because you kind of need that to get through the conventions. Dealing with, oh my God, your artwork is so awesome. Well, thank you very much. Can you buy some? No, thank you. Yeah.
No, but can I have this one for free?
Exactly. I spent a year of my life working on that. I'm not giving it to you for free.
Thank you. I'm going to forget it's on my wall in 2 days. Because I didn't spend a dime on it.
I gotta mention this while we're drinking. One of the best art things that happened to me. I did a art show a couple of years ago, doing all porn stars.
Really?
Yeah, it was a porn star themed art show, and it was all my artwork. So I did portraits because I do a lot of portraiture of people. Mm-hmm. So I did all these.
Not like landscapes as a
dogs,
portrait.
People. So I did all this. Portraitures of porn stars, and some people were angry because I didn't do them naked, because I wanted to treat them as people. But one of One of the best ones I did was I did a Ron Jeremy, a young Ron Jeremy.
Wow.
And it got into his hands.
Really?
Yeah, I got a signed piece. I can send you the photo of him holding it. It's
I
awesome.
totally want that. Yeah.
It's awesome. Ron Jeremy holding my artwork and trying to eat it, too. I got a photo of him trying to eat it.
There'll be an overlay here, don't worry.
Overlay, yeah.
Drink.
Drink. It might be worth something if he died a couple weeks ago. He was that close. That close.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I've never like met the man in my life. We were in California.
Yeah.
Saw that dude like 3 times in like 6 hours.
You talked to him?
No, because he was always like headed some different direction.
Yeah, I've never met him either. I've never been in the same room with him. But, yeah.
But like 2 days later, he was in the hospital. So.
Yeah. Oh. Too close to you.
Stay away from the fat guy with the purple beard. It's a curse. All right, man. So what are you into? Like, what do you geek out on besides your own stuff here?
I don't even geek out over my own stuff.
You don't geek out over your own stuff? Look at this. This is cool.
Well, aside from bars, I'm a big bar geek and a whiskey geek, but geek.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge, from, knee-high to a grasshopper, or other colloquialism, Doctor Who geek. I'm a huge Doctor Who geek.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Since I was a little kid. Tom Baker, with a scarf and all that, yeah.
So you're. I mean, is it the whole incarnation, or is it just the Tom Baker?
No, it's all of them. But that's where I started, with the Tom Baker Doctor. But yeah, old school Doctor Who geek, and it's weird. Over the last couple of years, as the new Doctor Who series started, watching it become cool and hip.
Right.
That to me has been the weirdest thing, because honestly, back in the 80s when I was a Doctor Who geek, watching Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, that was like the dark secret. You just didn't share that information to anybody. You sat at home, read your books, like your little Doctor Who books, and that was that. I mean, basically the Star Trek nerds picked on the Doctor Who nerds, because that was the only people they could pick on. And then over the last couple of years, watching it going, whoa, wait, Doctor Who's cool now? Wait, it's got a budget?
Yeah.
Where have all you people been? Yeah, that is the big thing I used to, I still geek out of.
I could never figure out why they could never get a budget before this era. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, well, it's BBC, old school BBC. BBC never had the budget that American shows do.
Right.
Even with American shows that do 22 episodes, BBC does, 6 episodes, and they're basically doing half of it on a green screen because we have no money. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic and a little horrifying, but fantastic. It's like, watching little girls, seeing all the Doctor Who toys. Also seeing when you're watching the old Peter Davison episodes going, I want a little TARDIS to play with. Yeah, and now it's like a whole realm of toys and geekery that, boggles the mind.
Drink.
That's one thing I've never understood. The whole
Yeah, I never get this part. I skip it a lot.
Okay. No, I've always done it, and I don't know where it started. I think it started when I was in Boston, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. So, man, how can people check out your work and get a hold of you and all that kind of good stuff?
I have a website. It's KarlChristianKrumpholz.com.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to spell that, aren't I? KarlChristianKrumpholz.com.
Drink.
Oh my God, I got
Finish
it.
it.
Finish it. Yes, I was born with that name. It means warped wood.
Means what?
Warped wood, apparently.
Warped wood?
Yeah, true story.
Okay.
True story. Krumpholz.
Krumpholz.
Warped wood. I was told that when I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Stitch in time saves nine.
Yeah. Colloquialism. First time I came out to Colorado, went up to, was it Trail Ridge Road?
Yes.
The one goes up the mountains. What, tree line's what, 10,000 feet? Something like that.
9,800.
Science nerds. Yeah.
Judges?
Judges. 9,800. Okay. Tree lines at what? 10,000 feet. We'll say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only tree that actually grows, and I did not know this until the first time I came out to Colorado, the only tree that grows over that tree line, 10,000 feet, is a Krumpholz tree.
Really?
Yeah. There was a plaque. It must be true. There was a plaque.
They don't lie on plaques.
Yeah, with a little warped little tree, and it said, "This is the Krumpholz tree." And I'm like, apparently that's what I'm named after. The problem with genetics, you know, you don't get to vote your family, you get to vote your friends, whatever.
But you're named after the most just industrious, armored, brutal tree in the world that can survive over 10,000 feet.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean,
doesn't need oxygen. Well, that much oxygen. So yeah, it works.
It's like the Incredible Hulk of trees.
Oh well, I would say the Puck from Alpha Flight because it's small. Wow, I just threw that.
Puck reference. Puck reference. Everybody drank.
We need a picture over here. Puck reference from Alpha Flight.
Excellent.
All right.
Puck.
Prost.
Here's the puck. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the booze.
Oh, that's Breckenridge Brewery.
Brewery.
Where
all good this comes from.
This is Groovey, we're at Breckenridge Brewery. This is Karl.
Thanks,
There's
man.
too many other syllables. Love you, man.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Illustrator, cartoonist. Just check his stuff out and get Modern Drunkard magazine and drink. Cheers. Bye.